This is KC Sports Network, proudly presented by Emprise Bank.
And we're back with another edition of The Breakdown here on Kansas City Sports Network. I'm Matt Hamilton. That's Chase Daniel. And Chase, Chiefs got back on track a little bit here. We're able to clinch the AFC West. Wasn't the sharpest performance, a lot of field goals in there, but they were moving the ball. We saw some positive things out of this offense. What was your biggest takeaway?
Yeah, just that they moved the ball. Exactly what you said. They moved the football. Look, only one touchdown pass for Patrick Mahomes. He's not playing this week. They're resting the starters. Blaine Gabbert's going to get the start. And it was just good to see the offense go. Now they got to figure out red zone. That's usually Andy Reid's best, drive area. He's usually really good. Got a lot of really good plays there. But it just didn't work out that game. Look, Harrison Butker get 6 field goals, which is insane to me. But other than that, I mean, the thing, honestly, that people aren't talking about, I tweeted about it, is forget about the play on the field. This leads to it, but 8 straight AFC West champions, championships, 8 straight, going back to when I was there, because 15, I don't think we won it, but 16 through now. So the year after, I was it's insane to me. I mean, look, they've been to a bunch of Super Bowls. They've won 2. You're talking dynasty status.
Yeah.
Like Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, New England Patriot type stuff. So yeah, this team has looked completely different than the first 5 or 6 years of Patrick Mahomes' career, but they've still shown that through their defense, through a run game, through timely passing, through scoring just enough points, they can win football games. And there's still going to be an issue come into January and possibly into February. Look, they're going to get a home playoff game of the 3 seed. There's a chance that they could get another home, but more than likely, you're going on the road, right? Because only one team gets a bye, and that's locked in, the Baltimore Ravens. So the road goes, for the first time in the last 5 years, the road doesn't go through Arrowhead. It goes through Baltimore. So that's something to keep looking forward to. But I just like that they're gaining a little bit more confidence. Obviously, they need to score more points, right? What travels in January and February in the NFL? It's scoring points, but most importantly, having a really good defense, having a run game. So those are the 2 things that I'm going to be looking forward to. Look, they're not playing anyone in the Chargers, but first playoff home game.
Yeah, and you just mentioned the run game. Isaiah Pacheco finally looked healthy again. 18 carries for 130 yards. How much, again, we know this offense is going to run through Patrick Mahomes, but how much of a difference can that make if he gets going? Can we see them lean on this run game more than ever before as we get into the playoffs? Because the passing game, it's just still, they had a good day against the Bengals, but it still hasn't been where we needed to be. And as you said last week, I don't think we're going to see it magically change overnight. So could this run game be the key to a run through the playoffs?
Well, I think Andy Reid and Matt Nagy and company are just finally tired of everyone just playing man-to-man defense. That's literally what they're doing. They're saying, you can't beat us. We're going to come up and press you. We're going to mush rush Patrick Mahomes. We're going to keep him in the pocket. We're not going to let him beat us with his legs. And there's some good run opportunities when you're playing man-to-man. You have 5-6-man boxes. And they did some really cool things in the run game. It's a very big misdirection run game, test defenders' eyes. We're going backwards. We're going forwards. Where are we going? Side to side. The jet sweep is a big deal in it. Their RPOs is a big deal in it. So they got to be happy with how Isaiah played. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is he had a couple good games back to back when Pacheco was hurt, especially out of the backfield. So that 2-headed monster, they could make some noise in the playoffs. And like I just said, right, it's defense and a run game. Mahomes will take over some games in the fourth quarter when he needs to, and these receivers better step up a little bit more. But overall, you got to be happy coming out of the last game of the year, really, that the starters are playing, that you're able to run the ball like that.
Absolutely. And we'll start digging into some of the tape now, because while that run game was awesome, we saw good things out of the passing game as well. We'll start with the touchdown pass to Pacheco. This great design in the red zone. What stood out to you on this one, Chase?
Well, when you motion over number 10, you see 55 right there. Okay, it's quads. Look where he goes all the way outside. So Isaiah Pacheco is going to have a little choice route out of the backfield. And I love right here that look, everyone's going to end up getting doubled. So they're playing what we like to call 77. That's 2-man coverage down there, and you let it roll. You got Rashee Rice going. He's taken 2. You got 84. He's taken 2. Okay. And you got Travis Kelce in the middle. He's taken 2. And 55, for some weird reason, is all the way out here. Like, what? You're out by the numbers. And so this is the easiest touchdown. This is what I was talking about earlier in the show. It's like, this is where Andy Reid and Matt Nagy, this is where they make their money. Once they get into the red zone, they're used to scoring. Now, this was the only touchdown pass of the game. And I like that Isaiah Pacheco does exactly what you're supposed to when you're just wide open, just sort of stop the route and said, hey, throw me the football. Throw me the football. And for the most part all day, look, this is what happens when you only rush 3, right? You're dropping 8, but you're playing 2-man everywhere else. And by 2-man, not only 2 deep safety and man, but you're double covering everyone except the running back. And so you see right here, it's like taking candy from a baby. I mean, this was a really well thought out play. You're bringing a shallow cross. You're bringing Kelce sitting in the middle of the end zone versus zone. And then you have this Texas route. You can break in. Choice route, not Texas. Texas, you have to break in. Choice route can break in or break out or sit. And Pacheco just runs the green grass right here.
Yeah, and you mentioned it before, the ability to create some confusion in these defenses, something that Andy Reid has done so well over the years too. And that's, you mentioned 55, that's Logan Wilson, who's one of the best linebackers in coverage that we have in this league, and he was totally out of sorts. So tremendous play design. And it was shocking with the way that this drive unfolded that this would be their last touchdown of the game, with it coming in the first quarter. But as we talked about earlier, we saw a lot of field goals. But let's keep running through some of these plays, because there was still, even with them having to settle for field goals, the way they were able to move the ball was super impressive. And this play on 3rd and 4 by Justin Watson was massive.
Yeah, and you see here, it's 3rd and 4, right? Money down. It's 3rd down in red zone. And honestly, the Chiefs are 4th in the National Football League in 3rd down percentage. So they've been really good on 3rd down. They've been actually really good in the red zone other than this game. You see right here, Justin Watson's in the slot in a 1-by-3 slot formation. You got Kelce actually in the middle. Okay, so Watson is inside. You see right here, and he's going to release. He's going to run a deep corner route, not like a deeper corner. We almost like a pylon route. And when we run this play right here, it's just a 3-level vertical read. You're reading the low little escape route right here by Rashee Rice. Travis Kelce actually has is supposed to be running a shorter corner, and then you have a 3rd corner or the 2nd corner up top, and a hell of a job, honestly, by Justin Watson, because when we show you this back view, you're going to see that the defender has outside leverage, okay, like hard outside leverage, and Watson is still able to run, and just shows the trust, right? Like, I just get back to the trust of Patrick Mahomes. And I don't know if Justin Watson was the first. You saw right there the leverage. It's insane. The fact that he's able to even get open, and Mahomes actually throws this. And you see Alan Wright right there, the equipment guy, getting hyped. What's up, Alan? Let's go. But yeah, I mean, once again, look, dude, they're rushing 3. This is not the way to beat Mahomes, like in coverage. Like, if you get Mahomes all day, he's going to make you pay. And it's not always the star guys, right? Justin Watson, you see, just constantly 1 or 2 a game plays that are like, oh man, okay, yeah, make me remember you, and this is exactly one of those plays right here.
Yeah, and a tremendous throw too. Beating that middle of the field safety, coming over, tremendous throw from Mahomes. And yeah, to your point, we saw the Bengals drop 8 at times in that 2021 AFC Championship game, and it worked. But that's when you have Jesse Bates and Von Bell back there, and guys that are real difference makers with this young secondary. Mahomes was just able to pick it apart. And it continued on throughout the game. This was one of the biggest plays. The Chiefs still trailing at this point late in the 3rd quarter. This would lead to the go-ahead field goal. Big play here for Rashee Rice. What did you see?
Yeah, I mean, your motion and pre-snap, which I like. You're going from a 3-by-1 to a 2-by-2 formation. Rashee Rice is up there sort of in a tighter split, not a nasty split where he's inside the numbers, but a tighter split, so he still gets pressed. And you're going to see right here, the Bengals are running what we like to call 4-week coverage or 4-week pressure. So this is a zone pressure, and they're bringing the linebacker and the safety. They're end up dropping the opposite DN. In the middle of the field safety, he rotates the absolutely wrong way. And so when he does that, Mahomes and Rashee Rice, some people have said this is like a hot check route. I don't know if that's the case. I think he just probably saw green grass because this corner over top of him is supposed to be a cloud corner. He's showing man. They're trying to disguise. Okay, look, they get it picked up right here because actually Kelsey ends up blocking Hendrickson right there for just a little bit, and it just gives Mahomes a split second more. And you see this middle of field safety. 22 is going back to be this half field safety. It should be halves coverage. They're trying to get the corner down here to go to this half. They're trying to get the safety in the middle of the field that's highlighted to go to the opposite half. And when they don't, look, you're playing the best quarterback in football. So when you mess up, you better be sure that he is going to make you pay for it. And just a really good catch and run. That's what we've seen Rashee Rice do all year long, right? Like the catch and run, everything like that. And it's interesting to me because I don't know if Travis Kelce was supposed to actually stay in and block right here, because very rarely do they have Kelce and a running back stay in to block. Okay, but he gets just enough. It's not Trey. It's 96 right here of him, and then decides not to let him go. And it's just a really good play coming together at the perfect time for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, massive moment in this game to set up the go-ahead field goal from Harrison Butker. They never looked back from there. But moving forward now, we know the Chiefs have won the division. We know they're in. It's just a matter of who they play. You know, again, we could look ahead to this game against the Chargers. We know they're going to be resting guys. I'd rather look a little bit ahead into the playoffs here. So basically the way it's going to shake out, if the Bills beat the Dolphins, it'll be the Dolphins as their opponent on Wild Card Weekend. If the Dolphins beat the Bills, it'll probably be the winner of Texans-Colts this weekend. So of those three teams, I mean, you'd have to think obviously the Dolphins is yeah. So there's a lot that can happen. Of those teams, you got to think the Dolphins is the matchup you probably want to avoid, right?
I mean, I don't know, because like I just feel like with the Dolphins, that's been the narrative, you know it. Like they haven't really beat anyone, and last time they went up to Buffalo, they got their butts smacked, man. Like it was bad. Josh Allen had 5 touchdowns, 4 incompletions. So like it's going to be an interesting game. I just don't know. Like I think you'd rather see if you're just talking pure Buffalo, and the Dolphins. Like I think you'd rather see Miami. Because they got out of close to you, they're going to come to the cold. They got like all this stuff. Like I don't know if you want to see the Bills, man. And what's crazy is the Bills could be the 2 seed, or they could completely miss the playoffs, which is crazy.
Yeah. And if they lose, that's the thing though. If they lose, they wouldn't play the Chiefs in the first round. If they got in, it would be as the 7.
Yep.
So that's the one positive for Kansas City. Because you're right, with the way they've been playing lately, I don't know if I would want to see them. It would be really interesting though, because we kind of got the one thing with the scheduling. It was cool to have that Dolphins-Chiefs game in Germany, but we didn't get the Tyreek Hill return to Arrowhead. That would be a hell of a way to get the Tyreek return to Arrowhead.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, just looking forward at this thing, you know, the AFC isn't as strong as I think we anticipated it being going into the year. Really, Baltimore has looked incredible, as we know. But other than that, is there a team in this field that really scares you from a matchup perspective for the Chiefs other than the Ravens?
Yeah, I mean, the team, and I'm pulling it up right now because like I did a show earlier today, and there's so many crazy scenarios for AFC and who's in and who's out, and multiple different spots, all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, like there's somebody like by the name of Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns that I don't know if I'd want to see. The dude is playing some insane football. They're like under center play action, like 35% of the time, which is the highest rate in the NFL since he came in as a starter 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, whatever it was. And drove forward. That running back is having a really good year. And honestly, their run game hasn't been what it's been obviously since Bradley Chubb got hurt. But I don't know. It's been not Bradley Chubb. Who's the running back? Nick Chubb. Sorry.
Nick Chubb.
Yeah. Gosh, see all these guys getting hurt. Bradley Chubb got hurt too. So it'll be interesting because the run game hasn't been good since Chubb's been out. And so You look at the defensive perspective too, and the Browns have one of the top 5 defenses in the league, so that could be a defensive battle.
Yeah.
But I think at the end of the day, like, look, whoever they play at home, like, I think they'll end up.
Yeah, no, I definitely think so. And, again, the playoffs just bring something extra, I feel like, out of this team too. Even 2021, they had their struggles at times. They were still, this close from going back to the Super Bowl that year when they lost to Cincinnati. And that was a team that didn't seem right all year either. So fully expect something to come back out of them. But whoever that opponent is, I can't wait to find out. We're going to be right back here next week to break down that matchup and get you guys ready for some playoff football. So thank you guys for tuning in. For Chase Daniel, I'm Matt Hamilton, and we'll see you next week.